Making rings from antlers has become one of my favorite things to do over the years, and this is something that you can do as well. I'm going to do this video a little bit different. So first off, I'm just going to run through quickly the basics of how I make an antler ring, and then I'll circle back around and we'll go over some of the kind of different points in making the ring, different tools you can use, and kind of drill in a little bit to some of the beyond the basics. Is the basics of making a ring. So pretty fun. Once you give it a try, you'll realize just how easy it is to do. And then a little bit of a forewarning, you might get addicted to making them. So if you give this a try, don't say I didn't warn you. Before we move on to some of the details, I wanted to announce I published a book called The Antler Ring Guide, and this goes into a bunch of details on making rings out of antlers, but more about this at the end of the video. Okay, so the very first thing you're going to want to look at is where you're going to cut your slice of antler from the antler itself. I would recommend kind of making it towards the base of the antler. Just practically, that's going to have the most mass on the antler, so that's probably where you're going to have enough to make a ring out of. But towards the kind of base of the antler, you do have more of the kind of the knotty, darker areas of the antler, so that gives the ring kind of more texture and more kind of color to it. And I would highly recommend, before you make your cut, to actually measure out the outside of the antler to make sure that it will be the right size for the size of ring that you're about to cut out. When you cut out your antler slice, you can use a saw like I have here, or you really can just use any handheld saw that you have. It may take a bit longer to cut through the antler because it is hard, but you can get it done. This will just take you a lot less time. Once you have your antler slice cut out, you want to make sure that it's even all the way around, the thickness is even, and if it's not, then you can just get a piece of sandpaper on a flat surface, sand it down until it is, or again, you can use something like a belt sander to just save on time. The reason for that is when you drill down through the antler to cut out the middle, it helps if you're sitting on a flat surface and the antler isn't wobbling around. And then just the overall shape of the antler ring, you want it to be even, the thickness to be even all the way around. Next up is drilling out the center of your ring, and the real main point here is to figure out what size ring you want and what the diameter will be of the inside of the ring, and then try to use a drill bit that is as close to that size as possible without going wider than your size of the ring. That way you're not ending up having to sand down a bunch of material in order to reach that size of the hole, if that makes sense. And just make sure to really clamp down on that ring while you are drilling it so that it doesn't spin around. And you can use a drill like I do here, or you can even use a drill press. Again, saves time and gives a bit of a cleaner hole. If you do need to make the center of the ring even wider, you can use sandpaper to do that, or a sanding drum on a Dremel works really well to smooth out and widen the center of the ring.
Now you'll notice I made my hole a little bit off center in the antler, and that is so that I can keep as much of this outside natural surface as possible. So I'm just going to remove this excess bulk, and then we can continue on to the final sanding.
Now, in order to sand down our ring, you're going to need some type of lathe. And I put that in quotes because I just use a drill, so not technically a lathe, but it works just the same way. And you'll need a mandrel, and all this is a 1/2 inch, about 5 inches long piece of rod. You can use aluminum like I have here, or actually just a 1/2 inch wood die rod works just the same. And you put some painter's tape around it to the thickness that will fit whatever size ring you're working on, and then stick it in your drill, and there you have your lathe. And now is a good time to just give you a reminder about safety. Please do wear some type of respirator when you're working with any dust in general, but working with bone dust especially, wear a respirator. And then it's always a good idea to wear some eye protection and ear protection as well. Now that we've got our drill set up, all you have to do is just sand down the ring. And I start with 220 grit and then work my way up to 400 to 800 works fine. You can even go up to like 2,000, 3,000 grit if you would like to get a nice shiny finish. And just sand it down until the whole ring is smooth and is the thickness you want. But I would recommend not going any thinner than about 2 millimeters for the ring. And the very last step, but before I show you that, I did publish a book called The Antler Ring Guide, where I take you through the different materials you can use and combine to make antler rings, all the different tools that are available, and different things like inlaying, different types of metal, different types of stone like turquoise. And then I even cover things like carving letters, and then shapes, how to shape the rings into different shapes, and sizing your ring correctly. So this is available on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to learn more, you can check it out. Is to polish your ring. I use a finishing wax to do this, but beeswax also works really well. And this kind of serves two purposes. First off, it shines the ring really nicely. And then second of all, it protects the ring from moisture. So that wax is going to seep into the pores of that antler and protect it from any moisture from both your skin and, if you get your hands wet. But that will protect the ring. And there you have your finished ring. Now, one question I do get a lot is, how strong is the ring? And the answer is, it is strong. Like, I've worn one for well over a year with no issues. I wore it all the time, doing all the stuff that I do here in my shed. Now, this is not metal or steel, so keep that in mind. But it is very strong for what it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know how it goes for you, and feel free to leave a comment below, ask any questions you have, and don't forget to subscribe.